Good afternoon, 3:30 on the 4th of December here today. I haven't put a post on for a week or two, I've been fairly busy. I thought I would come down and show you how I put my onions back to seed today, and I'll show you some onions that were seeded last year which I got seed heads from, and I'll also take you into the top greenhouse where I've got different grow lights on, and we'll have a look at growth patterns and how things are moving along inside the greenhouses. So I've got a few onions here, as you can see. These are just onions that were grown outside this year. Some are in really good condition, some aren't so good. This is one which about a month ago I took a look to make sure the onions were storing okay, and this one was starting to go soft. It was a big onion, it was 27 inches around. I stripped it right down, and rather than lose it, I set it up early. I put it in this pot. I've had a look, there's a root down at the base of the pot and it's growing away nicely, and again I'm just going to clean that one up, just to let you see what we're doing. So we'll put the tripod down and hopefully you can see. I'll explain as we go through. Since we've got this one, I'll start off with this one, and we are going to remove the skins. The outer skin, I'll just take it down. It's not a pleasant job when they start to go soft and sweaty. Right, that one's cleaned down, as you can see. As I say, that was a large onion. It's going to grow and that'll be okay when it gets away. Right, first of all, the compost that you put them in. I always pot onions into a 3-litre pot, which I've got here. If you remember, I was riddling soil a month or two back to sow leeks in, and the riddlings, the coarse riddlings, if we look here, that was put into a separate bag. It's only clover multi-purpose, but it's the coarse pieces that were left from the riddle put back into the bag, and I've mixed it up now. Just put it in with a fresh bag of compost, fill the 3-litre pot, and that's what we're going to set the onions in. I've already cleaned one up. It's a beautiful clean onion, nice solid base, very solid. Still hard to handle. It's a real nice onion. So that one I'm not going to touch. I've taken the top off because it had set nipped together. I will just sit that on the top of a pot, just as such. Put that one on one side. That's all we're going to do with that particular onion. It will grow away. I'm going to moisten the compost a little bit. Moving along, if the onion's nice, which we see these onions are, they're still rock solid. That just wants cleaned up a little bit. We'll take the rough skins off. You see where I'm removing the skins down to a nice healthy skin. These are just dried and left on the bench. Any loose skins. That's what I'm looking for, nice clean onion like that underneath. Now if I left all those skins on, you can't see, but where it's been lying on its side, the onion, it's just a little bit soft there. I don't like to see that, and that will start to decay. So we'll finish removing these skins. Right, it's just that one little point which is a little bit soft where I've had it lying on its side. The rest of the onion is rock solid. So again, I will actually just set that one up on top of the compost. But where the top's nipped together and dried out, I am going to actually cut that off, just to allow the new green centre growth. We'll look at these again in a few weeks, and you'll see the new growth starting to pop through. They will make root up first before they actually start to produce tops. Now then, here's a one. Again, it's a decent onion, but it is just starting to go a little bit soft. Still got its roots on. Just pull the roots off the bottom. Those roots are finished for the year. Now then, if I have any issues where I'm not sure if the onion's going to survive, remove the top. I can see there's a couple of segments in here. I'm going to strip this onion down. I don't know if you can actually see. I'll move these down a little. Right. Yeah, those skins are just that little bit soft. I'm going to take it down, not just to a healthy skin. I'm going to remove this a little bit further and show you just how far you can go. You can see I'm already to healthy skins there, so the onions were in good condition. It's just the one outer skin which is starting to go soft, as you can see. I don't know if you can see because of the light. I've had to put the light on, it's dark at night now. I'm going to skin these down a little bit, so I'm going to strip these. All I've done is taken a knife and split through a few skins, and we'll try and remove those. And you can see I'm breaking into the onion bulb here. Now this may seem a little bit ruthless at the present moment because you're thinking, well, you're removing a lot of decent skins there, which I am. All this is nice and clean, healthy skins, and there's no need really to take it down like this at the moment, but you will need to do it after Christmas, so I'm going to do it now to save me time later on. When you set your bulb away, a lot of people say there's enough feed in the bulb to keep it going and make root. Yes, there is, but any issues I've ever had, I've always stripped it right down like this, and they come away very nicely, and we'll monitor the difference between this onion and the ones that I've set whole. It's not too bad, whereas once it starts to rot, it's a dirty job and a smelly job. At the moment I've just got onions actually stinging my eyes a little bit. Right, I'll leave it at that. We'll probably look at this again in a month, and I'll probably take the remainder down to the green core that grows from the middle. So that's what's going to be set up. I'll just clean the bottom of this a little bit. Right, so that's been taken right down, and again, just set it in the top of the pot like that, just as we see there, and again we'll monitor that one in a few weeks and we'll see how the growth's coming out. These are still nice, clean, healthy onions. Just tidy them up, take the roots off. They are still good onions, so I'll leave those whole for the time being, and again I'm just going to take that little bit off the top, make sure they're all nice and clean, and just sit it up on the top of the compost. Remove the rough, dirty skins to make sure that the onion's nice and sound underneath. Yeah, that's nice and sound. It's rock solid. Again, take the top off. This can be done any time towards the end of November, right through to the end of December. That's it, December the 4th today. Right, that's okay. Again, just sit them on the top. I'll give them a light watering just to get them away. All this is finished with. Dispose of that. It's starting to get dark very quickly outside, but I will show you on the stock onions that we got seed heads from this year. Right, they are to be watered, and I'll leave them in this greenhouse. It's all I have in here is a couple of oil-filled radiators, as we can see, and it's just to keep the frost out. We look up here, some grass leeks, the cooks, GSNs, and a few Cumbrian. They're all looking nice. They're all for the later set ones for January posting. Right, find a little bit of paper just to dry my hands. Right, I'm going to remove this from the holster. Turn it round. I'm going to have a look outside. Right, I'm going into the poly tunnel. This is where all the onions were seeded last year. You can see there's a small onion there with the seed pipe still on it. That one will, it's actually, I'm going to show you something. The one cleaned off. Working with one hand again, but onions are the same as leeks and they produce king pods on the bottom. Sometimes they produce large king pods, sometimes very small. There's a small one, if I can get into there. That one's cleaned off properly, but you can see that's a king pod. And for all it's a small one, that will produce plants, seed heads, exactly like we are over here. There's some bigger ones. There's a fairly large one. That'll get skinned right down. There's a one starting to shoot away again. And they will produce heads again for next year. There's some along here. There's a one. Here's a one that I can show you. Should have brought the knife in. There's a knife here. Right, this is just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. The head was from there, if you remember, it come up. I've cut that off to get this year's seed off. That one's cleaned off completely. And as you can see, it's produced one either side, fairly large king pods there. They're just one cleaned completely off. And you can see underneath we've got a nice onion bulb which is starting to produce green growth. So that will come away with a new head for this next year. Right, I'm going to put you on hold and we'll go up into the top greenhouse and take a look up there. Right, so we're up in the top greenhouse, compost in the compost bin. I've kept a couple of onions to show you. These are pips from Chris Evans. Sorry, you're in the wrong size of pot. Right. I am moving these up into 1.5 litre pots. These are pips just to show you. Chris Evans, these were started on the 10th of October. These were very small pips and they're growing away very nicely. If you take a look, there's a tiny little wire support on there which I will remove now and put some larger supports on. Just remove that little support. Right, again, they're in multi-purpose, they're just going into multi-purpose. When I start moving them into much larger pots, I will add some John's number 2. Nice roots on them. I don't know if you can see because it's quite dark in here. I have put the fluorescent lights that I will use for working on. As you can see, nice roots. Move them without damaging them. Just a little bit of fresh compost in around the pot. I'm moving them from 9 centimetre pots up into 1.5 litre pots. Right, have a couple of split canes. These are 24-inch split canes. One either side of the onion. Be careful not to split the roots. And underneath the bench I have some green supports. Just a little green clips. They will clip onto the split canes, keeping in any new growth and foliage that's coming away. You can put them on at any height you want and you can alter them as and when you need them. Right, I've left the original seed, first leaf outside, put the rest inside. You see that? Right, I'll just put that to one side, we'll put the other one on, and then we'll have a look on the benches. I've actually got a few little leeks here to pot up as well. Put the label back in so we know what we've got. Try not to mix them up. Again, remove the little wire support. Again, nice roots. Nice root structure. I like to see a good root before I move them on. I know some people, as soon as they see a root, they move on, but I'm not one of those. I do like to see a good root structure before I move them into larger pots. Usually I work on a theory of 5 weeks, possibly 6 weeks in a pot, never any longer than that, and then you can move them up into a new pot with new compost in. Again, a couple of split canes. We're now looking to start training the foliage as well, so one either side of the plant, a couple of green ties. Right, I'll just walk along, put these on the bench and come back for the camera. While I'm here, you've heard me mention before about the leeks, the pot leeks I'm growing. This year I'm going completely off the usual. I'm growing 4 brand new varieties. Well, one of them is the virus-free Cumbrian. I'll show you those in a moment. This one is DN2, which is Dennis Nuttall number 2. I have DN1, which is his number 1, which was a really nice seedling. This one is now, these are off King Pods, off a first year seedling last year. And I have a new one, which I'm calling the new Cumbrian. So we'll try these. Now these are just small plants, so I'm just putting them into a 9cm pot. Again, very nice root structure, plenty of root on there. That's just what I'm looking for. Just set them so they're more or less level with the top of their original compost. That's a nice young plant there. It looks totally different. It looks better in a pot than it did in the original. We'll come back and finish those later, just to show you. Not forgetting you put a label in, and also put some water in each one. Make sure you water them. Put a label in there while I'm on. So that's a DN2. It'll be interesting to follow these throughout the year. I may be doing wrong, I don't know, but we'll try it and see. I do fancy these new leeks, and we'll just see exactly where we're at. Right, I'm going to take the phone off the holster. Right, turn it round. Here we have a T5, 8 bulb T5, and just small leeks. These were actually struggling. I had them in last year's compost and they didn't grow at all. I've taken them off, repotted them into fresh compost, and they're now growing like mad. The roots are through the bottom and they're looking good. So I'm quite pleased with those. But that's a T5. Now I'm going to go along and show you the difference. At the present moment, we have this is Maxi Bright Daylight Pro 660 watt lights,